Hey guys, so this, would you believe, is Feather's tail. Doesn't look like it, I know. That's because all of the development is this way. This is where all the children live, all the rescue dogs. This side of our land has one house, a sewage system and a water tower, and that's it. And it's an acre, so there's a lot of land here. I want to talk about the future. That's why I'm here. I've spoken for a while about our plans to build the new home for the special needs children. And of course we are pushing forward and going ahead with that. We have a lot of things going on, the fundraisers, the killie climbs, so on and so forth. All of these things are set to help us in the coming 6 months to a year to get the funds together to get that house. But I want to talk about more than that. I want to talk bigger than this. Now, a few days ago I had a conversation with a very motivating guy called Jason Criddle. And Jason is from the United States and he owns an app development company along with some other companies as well. He knows his stuff when it comes to business, shall we say. He knows more than me when it comes to business, and that reflects in his attitude and in his outlook on how to expand things. Jason offered to build us an app for ShareTanzania, and I'm very excited about it. An app can get me into someone's life without them even wanting me there. At the moment I'm there when, you know, maybe people have Facebook notifications set up so they see if I post, but if they don't, then I'm not present unless they want me to be present. But I've said all along, you know, if I could get into someone's pocket when they are at the supermarket and they are going to do their weekly shopping, and I can get in there and into their shopping list and say, put a note in there, leave the bottle of wine out this week if you can, instead go for a long walk and pay for a child's education who will otherwise end up in child labour or poverty or whatever they're doing, and bring a child off the streets for a week. People would not get the bottle of wine, but I can't get my voice in there that way, but an app potentially could. Now, an app can do many things, so who knows how we'll develop it, but I'm just giving an example of why I find an app so exciting. So, watch out for an app. If you like the idea, let me know down below. Even if you don't, we're still going to make an app, but just be interested to see who thinks they would download and use an app. The other thing Jason can do is a more functional website, and I'm excited about that as well. Our website at the moment is far better than the one we had, and it was done by a wonderful friend of mine called Amir. But it doesn't do everything we want it to do. But it has carried us this year, and we couldn't have survived without it. But I'd love to see, you know, a website where you go on and you see the child. You see the child that you're supposed to be, that you want to connect with. You see all these children and you're drawn to one. Your heart gets pulled to one. Or God guides you to one. And you see them. You can look into their eyes, albeit a picture, and you can say, okay, I'm going to sponsor this child. I'm going to get them out of child labour. I'm going to get them out of poverty. I'm going to get them into school where they belong. Things like this are missing from our website, and I always wanted them. So I don't know how far we're going to develop the website, but we are going to change that, thanks to Jason. Also, for everyone who has asked me about 501c, if you're not American, you won't understand that. It's charity registration, so you can get tax relief for your donations. Jason has very kindly offered to set that up and register it for us in the United States. So we are going to get 501c registration at some point, and some point soon, I would suspect, based on how Jason works. So that's another thing. And all of this equates to something that I want to talk about. I want to talk about the future. You know, I know the importance of not having restrictive thinking on your plans for what you want to manifest. Always think as big as you can. But when you're doing something for as long as I've been doing it, then sometimes you can actually inadvertently stop doing that. And Jason said something to me, and not many people say things that catch me like that. And he said, you know, you're trying to develop Feather's Tale by using the ways that you've developed it so far. Only. And it really shattered my mind a bit, because it had a huge impact, because then I've created this narrow path by which we can develop. When there's a path this big, but I'm taking this one because it's the one I know. So I want to say I have a need for these special children's homes. Absolutely. Special needs children's homes. 100%. They need to be specially designed. I need to get more children in. There are countless children needing absolutely what we provide in this country. Even when I'm finished this video, I'm off to collect another child. But it doesn't stop there. You know, I have to go to hospital all the time. I should have a doctor here. I should have a doctor's dispensary here. The children have a special needs teacher that comes in and teaches them one-on-one, but there are so many children outside who I look after and who we help with food and for support the family. They don't get any education whatsoever. I'd love to, if I had a minibus and I could go and collect these children, even if it's not every day of the week or every day of the week. Collect the children, bring them here to a classroom, to a school for special needs children. I've got a children's fund with 700 children in. I could fill a proper school. And we could change the education system when we do that. We can approach, when you own a school, you can approach the government and you can say, hey, I want to teach farming and permaculture, which you're not doing. Seems 95% of your population relies on farming. I want to bring specialists in and start changing the way you use your education system. Because these kids will never, most of them will never need algebra, but they need to know how to work their land. I could do that. I can aim for that. I plan to live at least another 50 years, I would hope. And I plan to work those years. I'm not the sort of person who will ever retire. I don't like the concept of retiring, because not having structured time kills me. I have to be structured in my time. I have to be doing productive things, or I feel just ick, shall we say. So I started developing this place 3 years ago. 2.5 years ago, laid the first brick. If all of that can happen in 3 years, I was here nearly 5 years, but the time before that was spent finding my feet. You could call it research time. I was still helping people, but I wasn't really pushing to develop. I was still wary. I was still uncertain I would stay in Tanzania. But once I was set, I was doing it. If all that can happen in 3 years, all of this, all these children, all the help they've had using social media, creating a charity that just won an award for the best small charity of the year, according to PayPal, eBay Giving Fund, thanks to you guys voting. If all that can happen in 3 years, where can it go in another 3 years with the more exposure we've got? We've got way more YouTube subscribers already, and it's growing daily. Where can it go in 5 years, in 10 years? It can go to schools, it can go to hospitals, doctors, surgeries here on the land. It can go to having school buses that can go and collect these children, these special needs children who live all over the place. It can build more accommodation so single parents with special needs children can come and live in the community. But it won't happen unless I think big. And if I don't think big, then God might not think that I can cope. But I can cope, because I've got energy spare. And if I've got energy spare, we can do more. And if I can manage more people here, and I can become better at managing my time and better at managing the people here, which I'm sure I can. I'm always trying to learn things like this. Then I'm sure, absolutely positive, that we can achieve bigger and better things. And the first step will be this app. Second step will be a more functional website with the things that we've always wanted. Third step will be an Indiegogo, a book on Indiegogo that not only will the fundraising achieve us releasing the book, but also the fundraising from it, the funding from it, will place these special needs children's homes in place, and anything else that comes on top of there. Special needs children's homes, 2 of them, one for Specialist care, small children, one for the older ones. Once those are done, doctor dispensary. Once those are done, a learning centre for special needs children. So much in the pipeline after this conversation, and it's perfect because it's using light, which I believe in. This light, the natural light, is ignored too much, and people focus way more on digital light. But I need to get the right message into that digital light. We all do, because at the moment, most of the time, the message is not really productive for humanity. But there's an army out there that can end the problems I see here. If every young man and woman who are looking and seeking in their lives, but are spending too much time at the clubs and drinking and so on and so forth, can somehow be awakened to the problem here, but also be somehow awakened to how fulfilling this life is that I lead, that they might want to try and do it themselves. They might want to start sharing with others. You raise an army. But you can't raise an army unless you can somehow motivate them. You can't motivate them unless they hear you and see you. And they'll never hear me or see me unless we get into more of that digital light. And the app, the website, Indiegogo, that'll get us in there. So, very exciting things here. And we're looking forward to working with Jason. And it's a huge blessing that he came into our lives. I am excited that we have these tools available. I mean, you'll all know that it's tricky to build an app and things like that. So we're very excited about it anyway. One other thing, we want to start putting our videos out into the internet on all different platforms. So if you're watching me on YouTube now and you use other other video services like YouTube, put them down below or suggest as many that you know about down below, because we want to start uploading to as many as possible. Of course, we can gain revenue from that as well for the children, but also we gain more exposure. So I just want to finish with that. There is a young lady working for me in Tanzania who does IT. I've already discussed it with her and we've already decided to go forward. But I said, let me check with my audience and the people who are watching us and listening to everything that's happening to the children and the dogs and everything else here in Tanzania, and ask them what other ones they're using, because then it'll give us a good idea which direction to go. So if you could put those down below, that would be cool as well. And watch out for this app, watch out for the website, and watch out for Jason. Maybe I'll get him on the channel at some point. Let's see. So, God bless, guys. I got a dash. I've got a child to pick up. Bye. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, as it really helps us to grow the channel and with it help more children here in Tanzania. Also, don't forget you can support our work by sharing with children in crisis here, be it sharing for a particular need or even sharing one-on-one support for education, housing, food and medical care. It can be done for as little as the cost of a cup of coffee a week back in the West after all. Just visit www.sharetanzania.co.uk to find out more. Lastly, remember you can also support us via Patreon, www.patreon.com/featherstail, and help keep us here in Tanzania to continue our work. The links for the website and for the Patreon are in the description box of this video. Love and light, guys. See you soon.